Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. Today we are here with Travis Brooks and BRG Realty. We're going to learn a little bit more about his organization and his path to success. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me.
Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Be humble. Sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Humble Beginnings, Great Expectations. I'm your host, Jeremy Johnson. I run a real estate company called 7J Finance, Commercial, and Consulting. And today we have another real estate story with you. We are with the leader of BRG, Brooks Realty Group, Mr. Travis Brooks.
Thank
Travis,
you, man.
welcome, man.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, good, man. Listen, this is one of the episodes that I've been waiting to have just because we're in the same field and we get to talk a lot about things that we have in common, but from different perspectives of the real estate aisle. So thank you for coming here today, and I appreciate your time. Let's get right into it. Humble beginnings. What inspired you to start your own real estate company?
Representation. I started in this industry a little bit over 20 years ago in 2005, and I was an agent at Keller Williams Realty. And I looked around and I realized I'm one of four that might have looked like me in the entire building. And I realized that representation matters. So I wanted to put a product out there and a business that represents who I am. And I understood there was quite a few real estate professionals in this area that looked like me, but maybe didn't have a home to go to. So I wanted to make sure I provided that for them.
Absolutely. And, I started in the business in 2004 and I didn't see anyone.
Right.
There might have been one other person as a loan officer during that time. So, it's refreshing to see another face. And
Absolutely.
That's the same sentiment that I had when I was coming up. That being said, did you see yourself as an entrepreneur? If we talk to your younger self now, did you see yourself as an entrepreneur as you are right now?
My younger self, all I saw myself is Walter Payton. That's it. It was football or bust for me. And I was blessed to go to University of South Florida and play on the inaugural team in '96. Knee injuries took that dream away. So at that point, I had no clue what my life would be after that. So like everybody else, you just get into the workforce. You get into the work world. And I remember the best firing I ever had. I was working at JP Morgan Chase. And my department, it was either moved to San Antonio because it was outsourcing to India. So it was move or take the package. That was July 2005. July 31st, 2005 was my last day there. I took the package, and August 1st, I was in real estate school.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
That's amazing. The best firing.
Best firing I ever had.
That's the jump, because you learn, from your lessons you learn. Some of the best firings they open the door to what your future is supposed to be.
Absolutely. Because you, at the time, you're looking at you getting fired, but you don't know that's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That obstacle just created an opportunity for me. Yeah. Had that not happened, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Facts. I've been there, done that. Shout out to Chuck E. Cheese, my first job ever. I never worked in fast food again. Let's move on. Let's talk about the biggest lesson you've learned so far as a Black business owner.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned as a Black business owner is that you got to work twice as hard. You got to work twice as hard to get twice as less. And I'm okay with that because I understood when I got into this race, I was already behind. We were already behind. So it gave me that drive that I needed to compete. We're looking at the real estate industry. We make up less than 6% of the entire real estate industry. You understand what I'm saying? So if I know that going into it, I understand what work ethic I have to have. And I think that also ties into that football background. When you grow up playing sports, you got to get up and go to work every day.
Absolutely.
You have to get up and go to work every day because either you're chasing somebody's position or somebody's chasing yours. So I came in as a business owner chasing, and I loved it because I created call it my invisible rabbit. You always got to have a rabbit to chase, whatever that is in your life.
Yeah.
Create that rabbit and you go chase that. So I think the biggest lesson I learned as coming in as a business owner, you just got to work as a Black business owner. You got to just work twice as hard.
What is it? Because you're not the first, guest that I've interviewed that had a background in sports. And so I always, ask the question, what is it about, sports that translates well in terms of the grind of being a business owner?
In sports, it's competition. Every day you're competing against someone for a job. So when you look in entrepreneurship, you're competing against other entrepreneurs. You're competing against someone to get that business. So I think sports, that foundation of having a sports background creates that competition in you and that hunger and that drive and that if I don't go put in the work, I won't play. 100%. And that's not optional.
Yeah, it's 100%, 100%. And having less options makes you more invested in the route you go down.
Absolutely.
So what unique values or experiences do you carry with you here at BRG as a leader that makes you different from others?
Being a boutique real estate office, I think we have a very family-oriented feel here. Anytime I interview an agent, I want to let them know that, hey, you can feel comfortable. There's no wrong questions. There's no dumb questions. Because I go back to my experience at other agencies. You may not feel comfortable asking certain questions because you don't know how it will be received or perceived. So here, I think all of my agents will contest to that this is a family affair.
100%. And I know your team. I've known you for several years now, and the team doesn't turn over too much. Like, if anything, you just add more members to the team. And so having a boutique is a little bit more personalized, a little bit more consultative, a little bit more open for everyone to be themselves and do business the way that they feel is best for them. That being said, how important is team to your growth and to BRG? And how did you put your team together? Like, what qualities were you looking for when you were, vetting your agents?
Completely transparent with you, I didn't have a plan on growth. I didn't know what growth looked like. When I broke away from Keller Williams and I opened up my company in 2013, it was me and maybe 2 other agents, but it was not a plan of growth. That's why I know God is real. Every agent that I have came to me organically, either from another agent referral or they've seen me out somewhere and was like, hey, I want to join your team. In 12 years, I have not recruited one agent, and I have grown to close to 40 agents now organically. And I think that's a testament to what my team is doing out in the field and the mission that I carry with myself every day.
Absolutely. And the home base that you built here.
Absolutely.
They feel like they can plug in and play and go out and do what they need to do and still come back home and feel like, nothing's changed. How can someone in 2025, how can someone be successful in real estate if they were starting today? What would be your best advice for them?
Understand that you got to be able to pivot. I tell all my agents, keep the mission, just change the method. We're in an ever-changing market. If you came in 04, I came in 05, we've seen the changes in this market. We've seen the downfall in 2008, 2009. We saw a whole lot of agents, whether it be real estate or mortgage professionals, get out of the industry. Only the strong survive. I think that we get caught up a lot on the social media hype and everybody looks nice in their videos and you think everybody's selling $1 million homes. The grind is still the grind in real estate. Just in this area, if I talk about between Tampa and Pinellas County, we got over 26,000 licensed real estate professionals. So if you're going to come in this industry in 2025 in this market, you got to understand your why. Anybody that I've ever interviewed, that's one of the first questions I ask. What's your why? Why did you get into this industry? Because that's what's going to get you out of the bed when you don't want to. You've been in this industry the longest I've been. There's some lulls. And there are some times where you wondering how I'm gonna pay my bills because you're waiting for the next close.
100%.
So if you don't understand your why, you will be in this industry about 2.5 years and you're gone.
If a new agent were coming to interview for BRG today, or it was their first day, what would be the immediate first action that you would tell them to do?
Define their why. Define your why.
Right.
That's the first thing I want to know. And then everything else we can work on. Education is education, right? You can go anywhere and learn how to write a contract. You can learn how to use the MLS system. Those are just classes. Everybody has access to those same tools. How are you going to use those tools?
That's everything.
That's your why.
Yeah. How important is networking, and just in general, to an agent or to anyone in the real estate field?
I tell you what, sit at home and I want you to tell me how many people is going to come knock on your door and say, hey, I want you to sell my house. Probably zero. I matter of fact, guarantee that you're zero. And everybody heard that term, your net worth is determined by your network. It is so important with 26,000 agents in this area that folks know that you exist. I will say in 2005, we didn't have all this social media outlets we have now. So you do have an advantage because you can touch millions of people with one click. Utilize the tools that you have, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, millions of followers will find you if you promote yourself correctly. But I'm still an old school guy. I like to touch and feel, shake hands. So I advise you get out and network with as many people as you can, because we do business with who we know, trust, and like.
Facts.
I can't really know you through social media. I can't really trust you. You know, I can see the business that you're doing and admire you. But when it comes to one of the most important decisions I'll ever make, which is a home purchase, it has to be with somebody that I know, trust, and like. Networking is everything.
Everything. It's the lifeblood of any business, really. It's new business and meeting new people and opening up the door for opportunities. So I would concur on that. Now, for many people, they bring what their life experiences they've gone through into their business with them, and they let that shape kind of their identity, and the brand takes the identity of the person into it. So you were a leader in fraternal life, and I got to ask, how has that helped, develop the brand of BRG here in 2025?
The great Muhammad Ali, service is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. And that's how I live my life. Great point to my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. That's what we stand for, service. And that's what my company, BRG, stands for. We're not the company that only want to focus on, I know that's a big buzzword, luxury listings, right?
Yeah.
But you got to understand that is a small pond. The bigger pond is the working class. They need the same level of service as the multi-million-dollar client. So I believe that service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth, and that is the mantra that we take on at BRG.
I love that. What role do you think, fraternal organizations, or just, any type of, organizations that you get involved with, what role do you think that plays in building Black entrepreneurs, Black business people in, their adult life?
Well, if you look at these organizations, and from the beginning, from the start of them, they were the scholars, they were the leaders, whether it be in their school or in the communities, whether it be fraternities, sororities, NAACP, you name it, NARAB, which we were both a part of. So these were the leaders and the entrepreneurs in the communities, and that's why they were created, to create more leaders and more entrepreneurs. So I would advise everyone, if you have not got involved with any of these organizations, learn, do your research, and understand that service is at the base of every organization, but it's also key that they push their mission of entrepreneurship, building up our communities. So our goal was to always go to school and come back and bring that knowledge to the neighborhood and create our own businesses. And I think that's what we need to get back to.
Absolutely. And you end up becoming a role model to others that you end up, mentoring or what have you. So, outside of Walter Payton, what role models did you look at growing up that helped, kind of shape your mindset?
I'm a huge Malcolm X fan, and Martin as well, because I think in 5th grade, I couldn't stop talking in class. So my teacher told me I had to learn that I have a dream speech. So I've been reciting that speech since 5th grade. But as I got older, I really took a liking to Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party, and just the service that they did. And I'm a big Black history buff, right? I understand the work that our forefathers put in to put us in this position. And I think oftentimes we forget that we're only here because of the back-breaking things that other folks did. So my mindset is, who am I not to pay it back? Who am I not? I can go to any restaurant I want to go to, any hotel I want to go to, because of the sacrifices others made. Now, I have to make those sacrifices for those that's coming behind me.
Facts. It's not everyone that has that same mindset. And so to adopt that, that lets people know that you are, opening the door for others, and, leaving breadcrumbs, if you will.
Absolutely.
For others to follow. And I think that's so important. You serve as a leader in a national trade organization we call NARAB, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is a real estate trade organization for professionals, and we promote democracy and housing amongst the Black community. And so that being said, what would you say that people need to know about the current state of Black home ownership in America today?
Well, I will say, if you have an opportunity, go to nareb.com, NAREB.com, and we put out a Sheba report every year, State of Housing in Black America. I think our next report will come out in November of this year. But if you look at our numbers right now, we're around 44% home ownership rate. We're currently in last place. If you look at where we were when they passed the Fair Housing Act of 1968, it was around 42%. So a little bit over, 50 years, we haven't moved that much. So that means there is a lot of work that needs to be done. I will say that NARAP, founded right here in Tampa in 1947, has been a pivotal organization into policy changes to help move that needle. But if we do not all get involved, I think we'll continue to fall behind in this home ownership race.
What do you think are the things that, we can do to bring that message a little bit more forward to, the forefront so people can understand and know, the discrepancy and the disparity between home ownership levels between, groups of Americans?
Right. I think the first thing we need to do is be made aware. For some reason, I think a lot of us don't understand the dire need in the home ownership race and how far we are behind, and it equates to our net worth and why we're in last place in wealth creation, creating generational wealth. It's all because we don't own homes. And I think that message needs to be put out mainly by all the real estate professionals that they can. We need to sing it to the top of the hills.
Right.
And you've been on the road with me going to a lot of conferences and conventions, and that's exactly what we do. But I think we need to get more involved. We need to get more involved in more grassroots to let this message be known that if we do not change something, if we do not force these lenders and these banks to change some of their policies, we're going to continue to fall behind the eight ball.
Absolutely. Now, we love money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a capitalistic society, and, we love money. And in this industry, we're blessed and poised enough to put ourselves in a position to be able to make a lot of money. And so sometimes, that may drown out the mission of, community development. But as your role as a leader, how do you balance the business of real estate and the role of community development awareness and, impact?
I've never lost a dime serving.
Mm-hmm.
I've never lost a dime serving. While others are focused on making money, I focus on making a difference. And in turn, my money has doubled and tripled because I've decided to make a difference first. We're talking about home ownership, man. Just like I know, that is what they quote unquote the American dream. That is what created generational wealth for so many in this country. And if we just focus on the money piece of it, we're missing the mark. We're missing the mark. I feel like every time one of my clients close on a property, I'm forever etched in their book of life, even if it's just one chapter.
Right.
I made a difference in their life. And if you do it the right way, you get another opportunity because they'll refer someone else to you. So if you just focus on making that first dollar, I promise you that will be your last dollar.
Say less. Man, that was great. I love that. Now, as a leader, you have certain different aspects of leadership that you're a part of. You lead BRG, you're a leader in the fraternity, you're a leader in NARAB, you're a leader of your household, I'm sure. What pressures do you feel the most in all those different categories as a leader?
Not wanting to let anyone down. And I think I internalize a lot because I mentioned earlier, I value so much that was done for me to put me in this position to where I feel like I remember, I'm gonna tell you a story, my 40th birthday, I remember laying down and I woke up and I realized I haven't done enough. I look back and I say, Martin and Malcolm both died at 39 years old and we're still singing their praises right now. So can you imagine the work they did in a short 39 years on this earth that we're still living off those backs? So I woke up on my couch on my 40th birthday and said, Travis, you have to do more. You have to do more. So I put that pressure on myself and I'm okay with it.
That's powerful. That's every day. It's a consistent, pressure that you're the example.
Correct.
You've got to, set that example and always set the bar higher than what it was for you.
Correct.
So what is your legacy? What do you want to, have your people remember you as prior to you, getting out of here?
He gave his life serving. He gave his life serving. Again, they print money. No matter how much money you make, someone else can make more. They print it every day. There's real no value in that. When I leave here, and I want my kids and I want everybody to know that I gave my life serving.
Period.
That's my legacy.
How do you go about the mentorship of, these younger agents, these younger leaders, men and women that, look to you as a role model?
I think it pushes me. And I learned that sometimes you can be someone's role model and they don't even know you or you don't know them, but they're watching. When you put yourself in the leadership role, somebody's watching. And it pushes me to be the best that I can be for them, even though I have never met them. I had an opportunity to go speak to some kids at Hillsborough Community College this summer, and to see some of the feedback that those kids gave after I was able to speak to them lets me know I'm doing the right thing. but I can't sleep on the job.
Right.
Because every day somebody new is coming up and they're looking for you. They're looking at you. So that's my motivation. That's what pushes me to stay the course.
Do you feel the pressure of knowing that everyone is always watching you, especially these days? Everybody got a camera on you.
I really don't feel the pressure because I'm living in my purpose. If I wasn't living in my purpose, if I wasn't doing what's according to me and in my heart, I probably would feel pressure.
Yeah.
But I wake up and be me every day.
I love that. I love that. What is the greatest thing about our community here in Tampa that is conducive to just the growth and the state of where we are today? As you mentioned, the Black community, we're in last place when it comes to home ownership, but we have an incredible opportunity to build that.
Correct.
Yeah, the only way is up, right?
Absolutely.
But here in Tampa, we have a very unique opportunity. What would you say to that?
Well, I say the community and the culture in Tampa is one of resiliency. And I think you can probably sing that song amongst the nation when it comes to our community is being resilient. What I will say, and to your point, Tampa is growing tremendously, but we want to grow together. I think right now our community is seeing a little bit of change happening, some good, some not so good, but we got to be the change we want to see. We can't complain about what's going on in our community if you're not doing something about it. You know, and I'm a big proponent of that. Don't come after the fact with a complaint. Let's come with a solution. Right. And I think with the amount of land that we own, the amount of organizations out here, if we partner together, and that's big strategic partnerships, because we can't do it alone. Right. What's that saying? You want to go far, go by yourself. You want to go, you don't want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go with someone. So I think we should partner as organizations and make this community what we want it to be. And I see it's happening. It's coming.
As a leader, you know, it's hard to, when you're the first one in the door, it's, you know, sometimes you're not looking behind you very much, or you're not necessarily, you know, looking for direction per se, because everyone's counting on you to know where to go, how fast and how hard, or solve what have you. Who do you look to for guidance when you're not quite sure where the next place is go? Because when especially the higher you go, the less people there are there, especially that look like you, that can, you know, tell you, you know, what the best, or how to get the best advice. Like, who do you go to for that type of, you know, stewardship or wisdom?
Well, I will say again, and I'll go back to NARAB and being a part of this organization for almost 15 years, I've met so many, I would say, seasoned real estate professionals across this country that I can pick up the phone and call and get some really good advice, because you do get weary on this road.
1,000%.
The road of service, you do get weary. But as I continue to talk to the ones that came before me that paved the way and say, how did you last? And they're still leading right now. You're 60, 70, almost 80 years old and still leading. So I have conversations with those individuals. And if they got staying power, they give me staying power. Yeah. So that's who I lean on. I lean on those that came before me, because you made a great point. Folks are looking to you for guidance, but you still got to have someone to guide you. And that's why I want to thank the organization NARAB for providing that for me.
1,000%, man. Great organization. And for any of the young people out there, man, if you have, I guess, an absence of, you know, someone that you can go to, definitely get involved in an organization, get involved in something that will help you, some favor behind you that you can, you know, lean on and take some of the pressure out. Because I know when I started in the real estate industry, you know, it was really nowhere to look to for guidance. So that's going to be huge. You know, definitely lean on your organizations and reach out to anyone that can help you do that. Great expectations. Okay. What do you see your role as a leader here at BRG becoming in the next 5 to 10 years?
I remember I started, I said I didn't have any growth plans. It came organic. But as I see it, I believe that BRG can probably be one of the largest independent Black-owned brokerages in the area, in the state for that matter. And I look at how we're growing organically, and I believe that's going to continue. But I think one of the things that we pride ourselves on is not putting ourselves in a box. So at BRG, we've also expanded, right? I created a property management company, a 5-star elite property management company, and my newest venture, V2R Development and Consulting. I want to create opportunities for our agents to be able to do it all. I've had some agents come here and tell me that they were only told they can only do residential real estate. I said, no. Your license provides you the opportunity to open your wings and fly, whether it be property management, whether it be commercial. So for BRG is to expand the brand, but not only that, expand the minds of our agents. I don't want you to be stuck in a box. We don't have ceilings over here.
Right.
We do not have ceilings, glass invisible, no matter what. We do not have ceilings. And we want to make sure all our agents understand that.
I love that, man. What is the future of the Black owned real estate companies in the future, next, 5 to 10 years, would you say?
I'm proud to say that when I was the president of the local NAREP chapter, I've seen so many agents become brokers. And that warmed my heart. I tell anybody, the only name that matters on your business card is your first and last name. A lot of us get caught up in the big box, the big brand. Going back to, we do business with who we know, trust, and like.
Yes.
They're doing business with Jeremy Johnson. They don't care who name is on the business card. You created that relationship, not the broker. You understand? And I would tell any agent that's out there looking for a brokerage, understand that your broker is here to be a resource and not the source. You are your own brand and you are your own business. Take control of your business. Don't look to your broker to control it. You are dynamic. You are coming in because you did not want to work for anyone. You came in because you did not want to work for anyone. So understand, your broker is here to be a resource, not the source, and you'll fly.
I love that, man. All right, man. What's coming up? Any things, events on the horizon that you're looking forward to? Anything that we need to look out for BRG wise?
We're going to start our quarterly networking mixer, because we also talked about the power of networking. I think we did it about a year and a half ago. I got kind of busy, but I think we want to go ahead and start bringing our quarterly networking mixers back. So be on the lookout for that. I think BRG is going to spearhead that community along with our NAREP family. But we're gonna flood this community. We have some big things in the works when it comes to the Hillsborough County School Board. We understand that students learn when they're in a stable environment, but we're looking at a community where parents don't have a place to stay. Not only that, teachers don't have a place to stay. So that's one of the biggest passions I have right now, is providing education for our educators, because it's hard for us to ask them to go and give their best if they don't have a place to rest after the end of the day. So I think we're gonna hit this community like none other.
Travis Brooks and BRG got their, minds and their hearts in the right place. So look out for them in the future. Humble beginnings, great expectations. Man, Travis, thank you very much for being with me today.
Congratulations on you, man. Good job.